Hey, what's up, guys? Coming to you here with a live video from the shop. Let me turn the auto down here. I got my laptop set up here so I can just see the comments that are coming in without, having to constantly look at the phone. I've made a couple live videos before, and I've tried to make them inside, and they don't really come out that good because the signal inside the shop is not the greatest because of it being a metal building. Of course, out here there's issues with the audio, with the background noise and traffic, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But I thought I'd make a live video. I'm gonna be starting on a project here in the next, I don't know, little bit, and I thought it might be kind of cool to make a live video to show you guys what's happening and get your input on it. And if you're watching this live, which it looks like we've got 20 people or so, hit the thumbs up button on this, because when you hit the thumbs up on a live video, it helps the live video get promoted, and it'll help me get new subscribers, basically. So I'm gonna just keep saying that, keep reminding it. We got 25 people in here and we only have 8 thumbs up. So let's see if we can get 25 thumbs up, and we'll give it a minute to let some other people join. But while we're waiting for that, I thought I'd just kind of show you guys around a little bit. I mean, nothing's really changed. I haven't shown outside the shop in a while, but you can see the barn back there in the background. Got 28 and we got 18 thumbs up. So guys, if you could hit the thumbs up, I would appreciate that. So anyway, let me show you a little bit about what we got going on here. In fact, let me just set the tripod up because it'll sorry about the shakiness here for a little bit. Let me get the tripod on it because it'll give you better footage of what we're looking at. Okay, so here's the dilemma, and here's where you guys can help me out. Let me know what you think on this. And you guys remember Matt's Mustang? We spent many years on this channel. In fact, one of the main things that we started this channel for was for his Mustang, and he wrecked it. He's got it at his apartment now, and he's moving into a house pretty soon. He's going to have even more space to work on it. But so he's been working on some of the stuff, but he's been wanting to convert it to a single turbo from a twin turbo, which is a common mod for the 2JZ cars. They just run better, they can make more power. The twins are a real limitation. So he bought this, hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, he bought this header off eBay, and it's an import single conversion header for a 2JZ, but for some reason it doesn't really fit his setup very well. And I'm going to show you guys in a second a couple of pictures of what's wrong with it. But you can see the flange here where it bolts to the exhaust ports of the head, and you can see the turbo flange here, and you can see how it's clocked on a 45, and that clocking is causing a real issue with how the turbo mounts. So I have 2 options that we can look at correcting this for him. I could cut this flange off right here and reposition it, but he's already running an adapter that takes it from a T4, I believe, to a T6, and so I could cut the adapter that it came with off the T4 and then weld this on. But all these tubes are already formed to come up into the split, a split housing arrangement here. And if I clock that around, I think it would disrupt the flow of it to an extent. But that would be, fairly easy to do. So that's one option. And this being an import, and it's a stainless header, and it's the welds on are actually really good. I was quite pleased with it. I haven't looked at it really closely, but they look pretty good, for an import header. I think you paid less than $200 for it. The other option would be to take his cast iron manifold for the twins, and these two flanges here are where both of the exhaust ports on the twin turbos mounted on his 2JZ. And I could build, you know, I could come off of this and this with a tube, and then mount his flange out here, you know, and that way he could reuse this and maybe leave this untouched and sell it as is. So I'd be curious if you guys have any initial thoughts about that, you know, if you would go one way or the other. I mean, you know, cutting this thing up and reposition it, getting, you know, being able to weld all the way on the inside of that with these tubes, I mean, there'd be some challenge to it. There's no doubt about that, to get it to look right and fit right and all. But let me show you some pictures here of the issue on his car. I'm just going to show you on my computer. Let's see, I have these up somewhere. All right, hopefully that's showing up on camera there, but bear with me here, guys. Just trying to see how close I need to get you. You can see how this is clocked around and positioned so that they're really, I mean, it doesn't even fit. The flange on the exhaust housing for the downpipe is hitting into the valve cover. So, you know, it needs to be clocked around straight, and it needs to be spaced out just a little further there. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. And I'm going to look at the comments that are coming in to see, put you back on the tripod here. Again, bear with me on some of the misorganization of what we're doing here. But so we got a handful of comments so far. It looks like maybe, at least my view of the live stream is kind of going a little slow. All right, so what I'm seeing is from at least a couple of you is that you're recommending that I would just, you know, modify the flange and not build anything out of that, which, you know, now that I'm looking at it closer, does look like a more viable option. So Loco Fab cut about 15-degree bend into each of the runners near the header. Well, I mean, again, it's, if you look at it, let me get you around here where you can see it better. Again, you know, if you're looking at this, I mean, I could cut this off at the flange and add some stepped filler tubes in there to just bring the whole thing around, but I don't know. I don't. That seems like a lot of work, you know, and so I don't know. What are you guys thinking here? You know, making something out of this would be really easy to do. I could just, you know, sketch this up and do something on the plasma table to cut out two flanges that would bolt to this, and then have a single tube that would come into a, you know, a merged manifold or a merged flange here. And you know, we could space it exactly how we needed it, and I would be doing it from scratch, and it would be something that would bolt to this. That'd be pretty easy to do. When you start, you know, this being an inline 6, you have 6 primaries. That's a lot of work, a lot of fab work to try to recreate this or cut all those there. But anyway, I'm gonna look at the comments again and see what you guys are saying. I see Jerry's this and that says, you know, shouldn't I be working? Well, I am working, man. This is work. So anyway, let's see how long we've been in the live feed. We've been about 10 minutes in the live feed. I will, while you guys are thinking about that, and we'll take a look at the comments again here in a second, I'll just give you a quick peek inside the shop. I got woodworking stuff going on, and man, I don't miss doing that. You can see those glue ups over there, and a big mess, wood everywhere, wood dust everywhere. Yeah, I really don't enjoy it. I got a fresh sheet of 16 gauge cold rolled. Tomorrow I'm cutting out 2 new designs of some flags that are some sports teams flags, so it'll be interesting to see how those turn out. And anyway, for those guys that are just now joining, what we were looking at was these header tubes here. And I don't want to, you know, sound like a broken record, but give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get my iPad for an internet so I can get a better signal on this. Yeah, okay, I'm just looking at what guys are saying. I see Curly in there, Jerry's this and that, Loco Fab. And we got everything garage in there. So we got 33 watching now. And if you guys don't mind hitting the thumbs up button there, if you just joined, that'll help the video kind of take off better, and you know, we'll get more people in here. But for those of you that just joined, you know, we're looking at 2 options here. Matt had purchased this this manifold, and you can see, let me get it straight in the camera, you can see how the this exhaust flange is in there at an angle, and it needs to be straight to the header. And so do we modify that, or do we make something out of this, which is the stock twin manifold, and these 2 ports right here are where the exhaust of the factory turbos mounted. And I saw Loco Fab, or maybe EVP, mentioned something about you know, concerned about flow, you know, and this would be, I mean, this flow is good enough to support the factory twins, but you know, I don't know if it is restrictive in any way. It doesn't really look like it. I mean, it looks like it's got a clear path in there, you know, and the radiuses are fairly tight, but they look smooth, you know, there's no blockiness or anything. It looks like it would be a restriction to flow. In fact, these 2 primaries here almost have a, you know, the center one definitely does, and you know, these 2, you know, they don't have a lot to bend to get to the to this, but from here, you know, they would be let me show you. You know, what I would do here is come off with 2 U-bends and come up, you know, and out, and probably 1.5 inch tubing is what we need. In fact, Matt's already ordered some, so I'm really leaning toward going that route instead of modifying this one. But I just thought I'd put it out there and make a video and see what you guys would say about it. Let me take a look at the comments again. All right, you know, and Matt's on the live feed as well, and his opinion was that the stock one would fit better, and it definitely would. I mean, this thing, you know, hugs the block extremely tight, and we could, you know, I could build something and just get it tacked up and mocked up and take it up there and do a test fit, you know, and then we could check clearance all the way around. Of course, we could do that with this as well, but you're kind of limited on you know, what you can do with this without cutting the whole thing apart and starting over. And if you're going to do that, you might as well sell that one, buy some more tubing and make one from scratch. But you can see there's a lot of work, you know, that goes into that. And of course, you see the wastegate on here, we'd need a provision for that on this, although his turbo, I think, is internally wastegated. So, you know, we've kind of kicked around the idea if that would be good enough, or do we need the external wastegate as well. So anyway, it looks like we got 38 people in there. If I could get you guys to hit the thumbs up button if you're on a live feed and you want to help out the person that's doing the video, hit the thumbs up button. That gets it, you know, that helps YouTube get it put out there more, and more people will join and that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm seeing, you know, Curly comments on a lot of my videos. I see Greg Porter, I see Jerry's this and that, Russell Rayburn. I see a lot of guys on here. I didn't mean to leave anybody out. I see Gilbert on there. Gilbert says that the internal wastegate should be fine and wouldn't need an external wastegate. Again, the turbo that he's got is internally wastegated, so you know, and you can see this guy here has got a provision for an external, which we would not need, and he could sell actually that entire setup. But anyway, guys, that's what I got going on around here. I wanted to just kind of do this live video to kick this off, and you can see the back of my truck's got a lot of crap in there. I don't know, there's a golf ball back over there, Marlboro cigarette. I showed this a second ago. I'll take you guys inside. I got a big mess in the shop. I've got some wood glue ups over there going, and this is some of the stuff I've been working on, and I mentioned this earlier. Got some sheets for some flags I'm going to cut out tomorrow and paint hopefully tomorrow night. So 18-minute live stream. I'll give you guys a quick little preview of the back and where we got to on the paint booth before I started. I kind of ran into a situation that's causing me some financial issues and had to put a halt to the paint booth, but hopefully I can get back on it here pretty soon. But you can see the slab is done, and that turned out pretty good. Those guys did a good job. I had one of these in a storm. I had one of these trees that line this fence line, which is the border of my property back here, that came down, and it didn't come all the way into the, you know, where I have the equipment there, but it came out pretty close, and so I had to get that cleared out. And anyway, these guys that did the concrete did a nice job. They drilled holes into my existing slab and tied into the rebar for this slab into the existing one. So the rebar from this slab actually goes up inside the existing foundation. And I got out here with a they did a broom finish on it, which was pretty smooth, but I rented one of those swirler things because I want to seal this, because it's going to be, you know, for a paint booth. And as you guys know, you want dust control is important in a paint booth, and if you have brand new concrete, creates all this dust for, you know, for an extended period of time. And you know, I don't want to be painting with the dust coming up, so I got that swirl, the concrete finisher, basically with a 24 grit, I think it is, carbide, and went over it, and that knocked off the, it looks like some of it was pretty heavily right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. You see the brush strokes in it right there, but pretty much the rest of it, it got those brush strokes out of it. And now I just need to seal it with the urethane sealer that I used on the shop when we originally did it. I actually over-ordered that, and I've got quite a bit of it left. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I know a lot of guys have asked about updates on the paint booth, and so just thought I'd show you that. It's 18 by 18, and I'll show you this too. I did finally work out all the issues I had with the fan, and excuse my mess back here. And I did end up with a brand new fan with a 3-phase motor, which is back there. And the motor is going to be external to the fan, so I don't have to worry about it being an explosion-proof motor and all that. It'll be out of the flow of the paint. So anyway, guys, that is the update. I appreciate you guys checking things out. So it's been 22 minutes, got 42 people on there now. I'm just hesitating, and I don't know what, you know, if to keep it going longer, if people want to see stuff. This video was really not about the slab. It was about doing these turbo headers. And so anyway, you guys see all these trees on this property. One of the things that I deal with every time there's any kind of wind or storm, I get another limb down, because a lot of the trees are older. I mean, you can see how big that one was, and they're not in the best of health, and so they're pretty brittle and fragile. And you see those limbs out there, those are some recent ones that came down. But pretty much every storm and every time it rains, I get limbs down that I have to deal with. So anyway, so let me go look at the comments. You guys got any questions for me or anything else you want to know about here? You let me know. Put a comment and let me know, and then I'll go back and look at all the live stream comments and see about all the suggestions that came through. But bear with me 1 second. Sorry for the shakiness, putting you on the tripod. I'm just gonna look at the comments here on my laptop. I see Tom Noble on. I was just looking, Scott Herbert's Metalwork and Restorations. I don't recognize that that name, so Scott, thank you for joining. I was just looking to see what you had to say here. See Jerry's this and that. All right. So that was it, guys. Unless you have any other questions, I'm gonna wait a minute or two. If you got questions, anything you want to know about, anything you want me to cover on the live stream, go ahead and hit me up with it, and I'll answer it. But if not, then we'll just disconnect here in just a couple minutes. Just getting you up where you can see me. JC Smith Projects, what brand plasma table do you have? Let me go take you, I'll just take you in real quick and show it to you. I have the TrueCut CNC brand, and it is, the company that makes it is out of near Memphis, Tennessee. And honestly, I've been pleased with them. I bought the entry-level table. This is the Series 1. It comes with a chain drive motion, which has its own issues, you know, with the cut quality and the quality of the cut edge. So, you know, if it depends on what you're trying to do, you know, if you're trying to make metal art and you don't really care if it's sheet metal and it has a perfect edge on it or not, this would be perfect for you for any metal art kind of thing. If you're trying to get the most precise cuts with the minimum amount of draft and really, you know, perfect the cut edge, then you may want to look at something with a rack and pinion drive. But I'll show you real quick. I'll pop the electronics box open here and just show you what, you know, the kind of work that they did. This box is something they fabricate, and it is, as you'll be able to see, you know, it's really well organized and laid out. I was pretty pleased with that. And, you know, things are labeled, and I've had to change a couple settings in here. There's some dip switches on some of the boards that they use, but for the most part, this box stays sealed up, and you know, there's not been any issues with it. But so yeah, that's that on that. Let me take a quick look again and see what kind of questions we got here before we disconnect. Then I'll go back and look if you guys got other things on the turbo headers. I'll go back and check those out. Let's see. Jason Quinlan is asking how much is the table and doesn't list prices on the web. I was looking at Delusional, but it looks nicer. Yes, Jason, this table was $10,000, and that doesn't include the plasma cutter. It includes everything you need with the table, and the I was just looking at the comments. Sorry about my pausing there. I'm just trying to, you know, look at the comments and respond. But it doesn't include the plasma cutter itself, but it includes everything you need for the table and the computer for $10,000. And then shipping from Memphis to here came on Hot Shot, and it was around $800. So you're kind of looking at $11,000 to get it to your door. And then you need, you know, depending on which plasma cutter you get and plumbing and electrical, you're looking at kind of $15,000 to get a 4x8 table. And Jerry's asking about, did I have problems with the computer interrupting? No, I solved that. Windows 10 has the ability to tell your internet connection that it's a metered connection, meaning that that you don't have unlimited data. So when you set it, when you tell it you have a metered internet connection, this is in the Windows control panel software, it stops this thing where it automatically does a Windows update. If you don't set that, there is no other way to turn off automatic Windows update in Windows 10. It's a weird thing for sure. So no, that is solved. I've not had any other issues with that. And let's see, some more comments are coming in. JC Smith Projects is new to the plasma table, and yeah, I took a class on Fusion 360 to help me with learn that, and I mainly wanted to go see John at NYC CNC and just take the class and learn something from it as well. But I don't use it a lot for a lot of detailed work on the plasma table. I use it for sketching up simple brackets and things like that. I use Inkscape quite a bit, and a lot of the artwork I do, I partner with EcoMouse, and he bangs the stuff out for me in Adobe Illustrator. He can do I mean, honestly, he can do things in 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes that it takes me hours to jack around with doing. He's just so quick at it, and he can save it as an SVG, and you know, and I can as a vector format, and I can use it on the table. So, but as far as operating the table and setting up the cam and the controller software, it's really easy to do. You can do it yourself. Just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of time, And with TrueCut, they have several videos out there on how to use their table on YouTube. So I just watch those, and mainly it's like everything else I do. It's just a matter of getting in there and learning it, you know. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Well, let me look and see if there's any other comments. All right, Jason, keep me posted on your setup. Yeah, I don't see why an XP45 would not work for you on a plasma table. Well, JC, again, you know, depending on what it is you're wanting to draw, if you're trying to cut out brackets and simple geometric shapes, those are all really easy to do. If you're trying to do artwork, that's completely different, you know. And Fusion 360 is not good for artwork. It's really not built for that. You can do it in it, but there's much better programs. Like Inkscape is a free one, and Adobe Illustrator is a common one that people use, and you can save it as a vector format out of Adobe Illustrator. Scott's Metalwork, I didn't go with rack and pinion because when I bought the table, I didn't realize that it would be such a noticeable difference. I would have probably upgraded to their next largest table, or next more expensive table, which I think steps up quite a bit. I think it's a couple grand to get that rack and pinion drive, if not more, but they also include some other stuff with that as well. Again, it's one of those things where I didn't really understand what it meant not to have it and how that would show up in the cut quality, and I just pulled the trigger on an inexpensive one. But rest assured, if I get another one, which I plan to do at some point, it'll be rack and pinion for sure, and it'll also be servos instead of the stepper motors that it came with, like a ClearPath type servo. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. It's been a 30-minute live stream. I'm gonna try to do these a couple of nights a week more often, and just kind of give you updates. And you know, if there's questions or things you want to go over, you know, that'd be a good time to do it, and we can have some dialogue like that. So thanks for the input on these guys, and I'm gonna get going on those here pretty soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. And I've got, like, I don't know, a handful of videos, regular videos on deck to get edited and uploaded of things I finished. I need to get on those. So you'll see those coming on the channel here the next few days. And anyway, guys, appreciate it. I will talk to you soon.